911. What's your emergency? She never showed up. Her car's still at the office. The door was open. Something's wrong. Dana wouldn't just disappear. It was a cold Monday morning in Willow Creek, a quiet town nestled in rural Missouri. Dana Wright, a devoted county social care worker, was expected at a court hearing for one of her child protection cases. She never made it. Her car was found in the parking lot, her handbag still in the front seat. But Dana was gone. What began as a routine no-show would unravel into one of the most baffling and disturbing disappearances this community had ever faced. Dana Wright, 38, was known throughout Willow Creek not just as a social worker, but as a lifeline. She'd served the community for nearly 12 years, handling cases involving at-risk children, domestic abuse victims, and families in crisis. Friends described her as tireless, fiercely compassionate, and deeply principled. She lived alone in a small bungalow near the edge of town. Her routines were consistent. Her job is demanding but predictable. That's why her sudden disappearance on February 6, 2023, sent shockwaves through the town. Her last known appointment was at 8:15 a.m. at the county family court. Security cameras captured Dana arriving at the office parking lot at 7:42 a.m., coffee in hand. She unlocked the office door. Then, nothing. A colleague arrived at 8:30 a.m. and found Dana's office unlocked. Lights on. Her planner open to that day's appointments. Her phone sat on the desk. But Dana was nowhere. The official report listed Dana Wright as a missing person by 1:30 p.m. that same day. Local police began with a search of the building, then quickly expanded to surrounding areas. Bloodhounds picked up Dana's scent around the back parking lot, which led to a maintenance shed, but then vanished. The most chilling find came that evening. A faint smear of blood found on the edge of a file cabinet in Dana's office. Small enough to be dismissed, but unsettling in context. Her family insisted this wasn't like Dana. She had no enemies, no signs of depression, no intention of leaving town. But as investigators dug deeper, a pattern emerged. Dana had filed several formal complaints about threats made by parents involved in her cases. Threats dismissed as part of the job. One in particular stood out: Ronald Griggs. Griggs had lost custody of his 2 children just months earlier due to alleged abuse. According to court records, Dana had testified directly against him. A witness later claimed to have heard Griggs mutter, "She'll pay for this." The Willow Creek Police Department, overwhelmed by the complexity of the case, called in the Missouri State Highway Patrol's Investigations Division. The FBI joined 2 days later. Search teams combed nearby woods, fields, and rivers. Drones scanned miles of rural terrain. Flyers went up in gas stations, grocery stores, and diners. But the only clue was Dana's unlocked office and that faint trace of blood. Detectives interviewed over 40 people, including Dana's co-workers, family, and clients. Multiple people mentioned Dana had become tense in recent weeks, even mentioning she thought she was being followed. Investigators secured a warrant for Ronald Griggs' home and vehicle. What they found was deeply disturbing. In his basement, a corkboard pinned with news clippings about Dana's cases. Her name was circled in red ink in several articles. Surveillance logs, grainy photos of Dana outside her home, and even screenshots from her private social media profile filled a folder marked Wright. Yet no DNA, no concrete physical evidence tied Griggs directly to Dana's disappearance. He refused to speak beyond, "I didn't touch her. She's lying about everything." Then, a break came 10 days later. A hunter, 15 miles outside town, stumbled upon a half-buried tarp in a remote woodland area. Inside were items confirmed to belong to Dana: her shoes, her work badge, and a torn piece of her coat. Nobody, no blood, but this changed everything. Griggs was arrested and held without bond on suspicion of kidnapping and stalking. Despite intense searches, Dana Wright's body was never found. In court, prosecutors painted a picture of obsession and revenge. Though lacking a body, the case leaned heavily on circumstantial evidence: the surveillance photos, the threats, and Dana's blood in her office. Griggs' defense claimed the items were planted and that Dana had staged her own disappearance to frame him. A theory quickly dismantled by her medical history, psychological profile, and complete lack of preparation to flee. On September 14, 2023, Ronald Griggs was convicted of second-degree murder and aggravated kidnapping based on overwhelming circumstantial evidence. He was sentenced to 50 years without the possibility of parole. The verdict brought some closure to the town of Willow Creek, but questions still haunt the community. Dana's body was never recovered. Memorials sprang up near her office. The county renamed the Social Services Building in her honor. In a job built on protecting others, Dana Wright never imagined she'd become the victim. Her case is a chilling reminder of the dangers faced by social workers, those often overlooked in the justice system. Even the most ordinary lives can be marked by extraordinary danger. And sometimes the most dangerous people are the ones already known to the system. Fade out with soft piano notes, overlaying an image of Dana's smiling photo, candles lit around it, and the text, "In memory of Dana Wright, 1985 to 2023,